Donald Trump won't be sworn in as president for another month and a half, but is already just shaking things up. The latest example, he tweeted a threat to the Hamas terrorists who still hold 101 Jewish hostages. After 14 months, only half of them still believed to be alive, including American Eden Alexander. Now, Hamas released a video of Alexander yesterday pleading for help. Trump's response? To tweet, if the hostages are not released prior to January 2025, the date that I proudly assume office as President of the United States, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East and for those in charge who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity. Those responsible will be hit harder than anybody has been hit in the long and storied history of the United States of America. Joining me is Sean Spicer, who was the first White House spokesman when Donald Trump was first president. Sean Spicer, great to see you. All hell to pay, says Donald Trump. What's he actually threatening here?
Well, look, I think Donald Trump wants a deal. And if I can just segue for a moment backwards, a couple days ago, and when you and I spoke last, I think he had just threatened Mexico, China, and Canada with tariffs because they were allowing fentanyl to flow into our country. What did you immediately see? The president of Mexico call on Donald Trump to have a conversation. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, flew down to Mar-a-Lago to spend Thanksgiving with him at his resort down there. And I think that this is, again, that kind of idea that he's basically saying to Hamas, all right, you're holding U.S. hostages. I am not going to tolerate that. I am going to demand you release them or you will pay the price. And I think one of the things that the world is quickly going to be reminded is that Donald Trump is going to be a very different president than Joe Biden was, and probably even stronger than he was the first term, now that he's sort of 4 years wiser, if you will, Andrew. So I think he's just putting the world on notice on multiple fronts that the game is about to change again. He is in charge. He is going to demand change. Not just here at home among our government, but throughout the world.
Well, I think he's got some license to do more than Joe Biden has done with Israel, given that you've actually got Americans hostage, or at least their bodies still kept. There was an American hostage, of course, video released a day or two ago. So I suspect he's got license to intervene very much more directly than Joe Biden did. So we shall see about that. But talking about Joe Biden, we discussed last night, Sean, on this show, how he'd broken his promise, made many, many times that he would not pardon his son Hunter. And now he has. In fact, he's pardoned him not just for the two crimes, one of which is found guilty, one that he's pleaded guilty to, of tax evasion and lying about his drug habit when he bought a gun, but for anything he may have done in the past decade, which of course includes what he got up to in Ukraine, peddling influence for a corrupt gas company. Now, this must have surely, Sean, embarrassed Joe Biden's many media barrackers like Jennifer Psaki, who's his former White House spokesman, now an MSNBC host, who would boast how Biden, in saying this, he wouldn't pardon his son, showed character. Have a listen to her now, or then, before.